My name's Colin. I live in Bath in the southwest of England. This is my channel, the Yay, Nay or Meh channel, and this is another episode of This Charmed Man, a series of first-time reaction videos to the TV series Charmed. And we have reached episode 7 of season 2 for this particular video. It's actually been about a month since I recorded one of these, and I've got so many other projects going on at the moment, not least of which is the Euro 2024 football tournament. At time of recording, it's the day before the England semi-final against the Netherlands. I know, actually, yes, it's past midnight, so that's actually going to be later today. Yeah, I'm not hopeful. But that's beside the point. I'm presuming that many of my fans will not care a bit about English football, but 40 years of hurt. Well, actually, no, it's over 50 now. Shit. No, it's getting on to 50. But anyway, that is completely irrelevant for this, for Charmed. So, yes, what was going on in the last few episodes? Oh, we've got new relationships seemingly starting with Piper and neighbour Dan.
Whoa.
And also Prue and that obnoxious internet auction guy played by Lachlan Monroe from Totally Killer. And neither of those I'm a fan of. Obviously, in Piper's case, I'm team Leo all the way. And he's a Baxter. Neighbour Dan.
Whoa.
Is a Baxter. He is the guy who will inevitably be broken up with because he's just not the guy that our protagonist is in love with. So what are we doing here? What's the point? We're just killing time until Piper inevitably gets back with Leo. And equally, I see this trope enough. I mean, obviously I'm not a woman, but I see this trope enough that I think it must be something of a cliche that women go for the bad boy, go for the mildly obnoxious guy. But everything we've seen of Jack, I think the character's name one, played by Lachlan Monroe, everything we've seen of that guy, I do not like him. I mean, going from Andy to that, I mean, yes, there is an argument to be made, going the complete opposite direction from your previous relationship, but going that far in the other direction to somebody who's, as far as we can tell at this point, an active jerk. So I don't like that for Prue. Phoebe still hasn't got a job, and at the end of season 1, it really looked like that was where we were going, with Piper announcing she had left Quake and was going to start her own restaurant, which inevitably turned into a club, so you can have musical guests, including the Cranberries, and one of my, one of the 3 people who regularly comments on my channel, Nini, has told me that there will be other recognisable guest stars appearing in the club. So yes, this is like the Bronze in Buffy. So yeah, I mean, making your own restaurant turned into making your own clubs. You can have a weekly guest star music act, and it's going to be interesting seeing who shows up and if I recognise. I mean, I'm assured by Nini that I will recognise some of the musical acts who will appear in P3. But when Piper announced at the end of season 1 that she was leaving Quake, it seemed at the same time that Phoebe was also going to get a new job, a new start, a new lease on life, whatever, and that just hasn't happened. She's basically been treading water for this entire show. Phoebe has. I mean, occasionally she ends up in bed with somebody, and fair play to her, but she's the one that is most into being a witch, but also the one who acts the most irresponsible, occasionally the most immature, or at least her self-perception is that she is immature. So, I'm really not sure what's going on with that. Yeah, I mean, they really need to do something with Phoebe, because I really do think at this point she is treading water. So, yeah, can't think of anything else that springs to mind from what we've already seen in season 2. And like I said, it's been about a month since I've seen any of these episodes, because I've had so many other projects at various stages of production or research or whatever. So, yeah, I'm drowning myself in work. But, yes, so episode 7 of season 2 is entitled They're Everywhere. Doesn't really give me any indication as to what this episode is or might be. For some reason, the first thing that comes to mind is the John Carpenter film They Live.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
That's probably not what this is going to be, but I do have, 2 John Carpenter films on my Charmed Trope bingo card, and that seems like a good point to introduce. If you are unaware, if you're just catching up, I have instituted a trope bingo card or a couple of trope bingo cards for season 2 of various tropes that potentially might show up in future episodes of Charmed, and characters and types of character from season 1 which might eventually show up again in future episodes. And we've had a pretty successful ticking off of some of those tropes. I think, what is it? 2 tropes and 2 individuals we've ticked off so far, and that was only in the first 6 episodes. So, yes, you can sometimes predict what will show up on these types of genre TV shows, and we're going to have to see how I carry on in the future. I mean, I don't think this is going to be John Carpenter's They Live, because I'm really not sure how you would do that in the Charmed universe, but I don't know. That's the best I've got. I mean, really, it could be anything. So, yeah, I don't think I've got any ideas, anything else to say. So, let us start season 2, episode 7. There.
Legend holds that buried somewhere in the Iraqi desert is a fabled book penned by ancient mystics known as the Akashic Records, believed to be a written account of all significant events throughout time. Powerful stuff. If someone were to get their hands on that, they could win the lottery, or at least get tenure.
Let me guess, somebody's going to get their hands on the Akashic Records.
Ultimate power. This tablet, found in the Ivory Coast last year, is believed to be the very map. Although the engravings are of a lost language, so
the Ivory Coast.
Decipherable to
Okay,
even scholars like myself. But we're close. Whoever can decipher them first will know the exact latitude and longitude of the Akashic Records.
Oh my God, that's it.
So, if this is an ancient text on an ancient piece of carved stone, latitude and longitude did not exist.
Now, they're gonna come after me.
I mean, you can say,
Just like they came after you.
we know where in the world it will
But I
be,
wanna
but
be ready
specifically saying latitude and longitude, that did not exist in ancient times. Oh, speaking of Phoebe getting a job,
Same. Thanks for always keeping.
I suppose that's
really appreciate it.
a job that makes
don't
sense as
mention it.
a
I mean, for all we know,
carer
he knows they're here
or
too, right?
candy
Isn't that why you
striper,
keep talking to
a
him?
medical volunteer, it says
Eric,
on
can
the
I
shirt.
speak to you alone, please?
Oh, I recognise him. That's Dean something. Isn't he on Breaking Bad, which I've never seen. Dean Wilson, I think. He's been in other stuff as well. Oh!
Sorry.
Warlock, okay. Oh, in the brain, not good.
Wait, you have to know if there's a warlock test.
Me, why would I know?
Well,
Um,
our warlock magnet.
Am I never going to live Jeremy down? You know,
Not-
said that Rex and Hannah thing
not
at
a
work.
good,
Have you found got 'em in your
thing
love
to
life?
say
Got
to
'em
your
at the water
sister.
cooler?
What's up with the suitcase?
A little overnighter. Dan's friend is getting married in Tahoe, and Dan invited me to come along.
Oh, so is this going to be an episode where Holly Marie Combs has the week off?
I mean, you did test him, though, right? I mean, you know that he's not a warlock?
He's not a warlock. No cats have hissed at him. He has not blinked. He has not tried to kill me or my sisters and steal our powers, which, as you know, is a key indicator.
I need the Book of Shadows.
And also freeze him. I mean, isn't that
Oh, I'll
a
get
pretty
it.
good test for a warlock? Try to freeze him? Or is that witches? Is there a difference? I mean, that definition of witch and warlock needs
I was
sorting
wondering
out.
if maybe we could get an earlier start. Any chance you could be ready in an hour?
Yes, every chance.
I wonder what her problem is.
Okay. Yes, Kit is probably not evil, but she is significant.
Did you find that warlock test yet?
It is going to be interesting when I've finished all 7 seasons or whatever it is. How many times did one of the sisters date a warlock, and how many times was that Piper? Misha Collins, Dean Norris, that's the guy from Breaking Bad. But isn't Misha Collins Castiel from Supernatural? Which I watched bits of, not until only early seasons, but I think that's who it is.
What if it's a conspiracy? Jack and Dan working together, sweet talking, and the whole time they're figuring out how to kill us.
Okay, now you're getting paranoid.
Well, how
That
can
would
not?
actually kind of make
Warlocks and demons
sense.
coming out
I
of
mean,
woodwork all the time. It's
I
a wonder
bet
we
they're going to
trust
go there at
anybody.
some
We
point.
don't.
Conspiracy of Hyde.
To hear secret thoughts?
Yeah, we can hear Jack and Dan's thoughts.
Oh, that's not going to be a good idea.
Personal gain, purely for protection.
And how specific can you make it? And is it going to work on each other?
Bringing innermost voices to
'Cause
my mind and speech.
Hearing your sister's thoughts.
Hey, she's wearing my lipstick.
What, I can't borrow your lipstick?
I didn't say that, Prue. I thought it.
Whatever. Just learn to share.
I heard that. This could be very dangerous.
Yeah, just what I was saying.
Right, and we think that they may be warlocks, so we were looking for a test so that we could test them. Hello? Paranoid?
We are not.
Able to find a spell in the
You kind of are.
shadows.
Well, just prick them. Warlocks don't bleed, so if there's no blood, you got your answer. Who knew?
Phoebe did. Miss Spell,
Okay.
I'll tell her. You handled their CEO's bronze miniature collection for the internet auction, right?
Be careful, she suspects. Yeah, of course.
Well, I need some bronzes checked out.
Suspects what? So he's fraudulent,
Validation.
maybe?
You do have people's collections validated, don't you?
Mostly I put people in graves or incinerate them.
What? Oh, I bet he's going to turn out to be an undertaker. Yeah, he's lying about how good he is at auctions. He's an undertaker who's a scam artist, not a warlock. Okay.
Don't move. Okay, this is gonna hurt me a lot more than it's gonna hurt you.
No, it isn't.
Piper, we have to get to Eric. What's the matter?
He didn't bleed. He's not bleeding. There's no blood. There's nothing.
Yeah, because he's frozen.
Yeah, of course he's not bleeding. He's frozen. His blood is frozen.
Yeah, a prick like that does not bleed that much that quickly.
Just a little bit. Love her touch. If she doesn't want to go, it's okay. Don't force it.
Yeah, of course he's a nice
I
guy.
really want to go.
He's fine. He's perfect. He's just not the guy that she's in love with.
Nice butt.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey,
Of course, Phoebe
you
doesn't know
hang
about the
in
spell.
there, and I'll be back in time.
Get back.
Oh! Okay! Yeah, that is the guy from Supernatural, but... Attempted murder with a gun? That's not necessarily something I expect to see in Charmed.
They're the ones who put my father in the hospital. They took his mind.
Who do you think they are?
NSA, CIA, who knows? Somebody in bulletproof vests. The question is, who are you?
Yeah, you will rationalize what you can't explain.
Eric, it is not about your father anymore. It's about you, especially if they think you know how to find the Akashic records.
Try and stop me. Ow.
Entertaining guest, I see.
Yes, some very specific fetishes going on there.
Where'd you get that?
Ooh, remember the troubled priest with the Warlock brothers? Well, they left this behind, and I've sort of hung on to it just in case we needed it for future Warlock use.
No, it didn't, because it specifically disappeared. Because that was one of the things, the magical cleanup thing I did for my wrap-up of Season 1, was the fact that the dagger disappeared. And suddenly it's back? Yeah, no.
We have to go kill a Warlock while she gets to sit on some guy's...
Hey!
You heard that? Like I need a hearing thought spell to know what you're thinking.
Stop it.
True.
Ow.
Now are you gonna behave?
Oh, so many answers to that question. Damn it. You might have noticed I've got a bit of a thing for Alyssa Milano, but yeah.
He's not bleeding.
He's frozen.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wait a minute. Okay.
Hey! Any survivors?
What? What?
So, Jeff, what is it that you do for a living?
Oh, great.
He's an undertaker.
I own a mortuary. Actually, a whole chain of them.
Yeah. Oh, he owns them. Okay, fair
And
enough.
Graves set him on fire.
Ooh.
That's for thinking that you could get away with it. And that's for thinking that you wouldn't get slapped. Piper?
She put a bit of mustard on those.
I approve.
Yeah, and this just kind of proves that Jack and apparently Jeff are actually jerks.
He's my dad. I love him, and if I can't have him back, I want justice.
No, you want revenge, and those are two different things.
And my dad is gone.
You don't know where he is?
Not really, but
I'm not really that interested.
he's going to
I don't
come
understand
back.
that.
You don't know my dad.
Do you?
No, that's kind of the problem. Yeah, set decorators just chuck a gurney and some wheelchairs. It's a hospital.
Where is everybody?
Did you bring that dagger? Yep.
Oh, did the collectors drain everybody? That's an interesting way to go.
Move, and she dies.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, you idiot.
Look, if we're gonna save your father, we have to keep you safe until we figure out what we're gonna do.
You do that. I have another idea.
Okay, I'm gonna go get him. You two get home.
Do we have to protect him?
He is pissing me off.
Eric, what are you doing?
That's the problem with duty, you know, doing the right thing.
If the Akashic records are everything you say they are, they're not a gift. I mean, the Warlock shouldn't have that knowledge. Neither should the rest of us. With all knowledge revealed, we could have no free will.
And no world as we know it.
Maybe no world at all.
That's a pretty broad statement to make. Having access to all knowledge being a bad thing?
Now no one else will ever be able to translate
I'm
the
not
map.
sure I agree with that.
The only place the longitude exists is in my head.
Longitude still didn't exist in ancient times. I mean, it didn't accurately exist until the 19th century, hence the excellent non-fiction book, Longitude. And I think they made a film of it, but...
Well, Eric is our innocent. Our priority is him.
Yeah, but they're both innocents.
Piper, I hope it doesn't come to this, but we may have to make a choice.
Why? I mean, there's got to be another way with all the hocus pocus we have.
Still may not be enough. I mean, we're talking about the future, everyone's future.
So we have to sacrifice Eric's dad?
For the greater good.
Well, I have to leave in an hour. I'm gonna be late for this wedding rehearsal, so the car's gonna leave the driveway at 6. I hope to see you in it.
Okay.
Someday, some way, somehow I'm gonna make it through that damn door.
Is there any particular reason why Piper has to stay? I mean, is there anything she needs to do in San Francisco that she can't go to Tahoe for the wedding? I mean...
Hello?
Eric, I assume you know who this is?
Where's my father?
Oh, you do know. Good. Say hello to Eric, Ben.
Eric? Son?
Oh, they can put the knowledge back. That's
So odd.
interesting.
Dad!
Or put something back and then take it out again.
Oh, he's gone, Eric.
Eric,
Listen, before you say another word, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for my father. I mean, everything you're trying to do. You sure you're not an angel?
no, I'm no angel.
No, that's Leo.
I could probably introduce you to one, though.
It's a shame your father's not a part of your life. He would be so proud of you. I'm just gonna go out and get some air.
The Oak Grove, Golden Gate Park.
Phoebe! Yeah? Where is he going?
He was thinking Golden Gate Park.
Oh my god, the Warlocks must have contacted him.
And he didn't have that much of a head start on him. Surely he would catch up with them in the driveway.
All right, there are oak trees everywhere.
What if we're too late?
Phoebe, stop thinking
Is that the same place that
All right, Bookish
the
has
Wendigo
said that
episode
Warlock is their
happened?
allies, so there must be
Looks
a way
like it.
to use the knowledge that they've acquired against them.
Yeah, but yes, I meant to do that. But yeah, of the 3, I think Prue is the one I'd most like to face in a fist fight, I think. And of course they're going to suck the brain out of the sisters. Okay, that's That's actually quite cool. And presumably both Eric and Phoebe's minds are going to be restored.
Piper? Are you okay?
I mean, it is getting a little bit like Phoebe gets knocked out at an alarming rate. I mean, it's not quite as bad as Giles on Buffy, but the amount of times that... Oh, it didn't. It did affect her.
Why should I? Should I?
Oh. Temporary amnesia.
I wanted to apologize. Can I take you for dinner?
I don't think so.
Come on, let me buy you a drink.
Still don't like him!
Well, can I at least get my phone back?
I don't think so.
Oh, I like it.
What are you doing?
I'm calling Tokyo.
Who do you know in Tokyo? And do you actually speak Japanese?
I remember. You were really sweet to him when he was in here. Not many people would have bothered. You must be an angel.
No, I'm no angel. But I could probably introduce you to one if you'd like.
Oh, and of course, Misha Collins played an angel. I mean, because that's who Castiel is, I think. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen later series of Supernatural, but I'm pretty sure he was an angel. And we'll probably never see him again. Although I think this was several years before he started showing up on Supernatural. But... Okay. First impression is I'm not a huge fan of that episode. I think there were some important things which needed to be said, which needed to be discussed, like the relationship that the three sisters have with their father, the idea that in order to save an innocent and potentially the whole world, maybe sacrifices need to be made. I think that is an important discussion that needed to happen at some point, but maybe not necessarily now. The fact that those very important discussions, which did need to be had, but the fact that those discussions happened in this episode, are we in such a dire situation that should even be near the top of the things that need to be discussed in that situation? I'm not sure it is. I mean, help Eric, help his father, and do what you've done dozens of times in the past. The fact that you have those very important discussions about the greater good and potentially sacrificing somebody in this situation, I really don't think the situation was so dire, was so important that those things needed to be said. It didn't strike me that the stakes were high enough for those conversations to happen. Although, as I said, I think at some point we did need to have those types of discussions, those types of ideas brought up. But in this situation, I'm not sure I agree with that. And also the idea that the Akashic records, which I think I have heard of in the past, the idea that knowledge, pure knowledge, pure accurate knowledge of the future. Yes, I agree it would be dangerous in the wrong hands, but to say that this thing exists and if it is discovered by default, it will be terrible for humanity. It might even end humanity. Saying that things are that dire, if anybody finds the Akashic records, which is kind of what they were implying. Again, I don't think it was that dire. yes, keep them out of the hands of these collectors, keep them out of the hands of warlocks, but saying that de facto, when these things are discovered, it will be terrible. It will be the end of the world. I think that's a mildly dangerous precedent to say. I mean, pure knowledge is inherently dangerous. I don't think that was the right thing to do. And you're having that dramatic thing in the museum, smashing the case and smashing the clay tablet. Or the stone tablet, whatever it was. Yes, it was a big dramatic moment, but is that actually gonna do anything? And saying specifically that it was the latitude and longitude of the Akashic Records is what was revealed. It just didn't exist. I mean, latitudes in some form is a pretty ancient thing, but the accurate measurement of longitude is a reasonably recent thing. In fact, so yes, it was in 1773, or around 1773. It was John Harrison who created the accurate chronometer for an accurate determination or measurement of longitude. So saying that in ancient times, when this presumably, I mean, the Akashic Records would have been saying, the methods available in ancient times, and they were, the concept of longitude was there in ancient times, but the accurate measurement of longitude was so difficult to do that it wasn't until the middle of the 13th century that accurate measurements of specific places were done. So having ancient texts having an accurate description of the longitude of a place isn't possible. So yeah, that bothers me that latitude and longitude was specifically talked about. I mean, you didn't need to do it. You just said, here is the specific place. I mean, this is where it is revealed. I mean, you could say it was in this specific mountain range or whatever. But to say the latitude and longitude, that doesn't work. So yeah, I think the stakes weren't high enough for all this, dramatic big stuff to happen. I mean, the actual concept of the collectors, having these needles sticking into somebody's brain, just sucking out the knowledge. I mean, that as a concept is pretty cool. And I wonder, that's the kind of thing that maybe we'll see collectors in the future. That's certainly a possibility. I think that was a reasonably standard Monster of the Week type episode, which is basically all we've had in season 2. And from the comments I've had, I think that's all we're going to get in season 2 is basically Monster of the Week episode. And it was a pretty basic, pretty standard Monster of the Week episode, which for some reason had these grand, important ideas put on top of it. Having those discussions about the greater good and potentially needing to sacrifice somebody. I mean, why was that even thought about? And the idea that knowledge in and of itself is dangerous, which is fundamentally what they were saying in this episode. And I think particularly in the post-truth era in which we are currently living, that's dangerous. I mean, it wasn't as dangerous in 1999 or wherever this was released. Yeah, this was first broadcast in November 1999. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't quite as big a deal back then, but right now, saying that knowledge is dangerous, that's not a message we need to hear. And that's what I sitting here in 2024, thinks when hearing that. So, yeah, a basic Monster of the Week episode with delusions of grandeur, with delusions of philosophy. And yeah, I think they overplayed their hand. It was a pretty simple, pretty basic story, which had pretensions above its station. So yeah, I'm not actually a big fan of that episode, I don't think. And I mean, I have to say that the hit rate of these episodes has been high, and there's very, very few of them where I actively think, no, that actually wasn't very good. So, yeah, I don't think There Everywhere was very good, despite the fact we had excellent supporting actors in Dean Norris and Misha Collins. But, yeah, not a fan. So, yeah. I mean, as I usually do, I'm going to be recording several of these tonight. So hopefully the next couple I'm going to be recording tonight will be better than that one. If you've liked this video, I mean, if you're still watching this video, then please give me a like. It really helps my visibility. It really helps the YouTube algorithms take notice of me. The more likes I get, theoretically, the more visibility I get, and the more visibility I get, the more viewers I get. So please give me a like. I mean, I think if you've watched this far, maybe you could consider doing that. Subscribe if you haven't already. There's plenty of other stuff on this channel. I'm continuing doing reactions to the Owl House animated TV show at the moment, which I'm enjoying a lot as well. So, yes, stick around, do all that kind of stuff, and these episodes will be recorded in batches and then released week on week. Monday night into Tuesday morning, midnight, UK time. And yeah, I'm going to be recording another couple tonight. But for right now, I think this is where I leave you. So, all that remains for me to say is this has been a presentation of the Yay, Nay or Meh channel. And I'll see you next time where I shine a light on TV and cinema, both obvious and obscure.